Hello. Hello, hello, testing, testing. Okay, I think you guys can hear me. Okay. Oh, this is one thing. Just a second, and I'll be on our way. Fans on. See them. Let's see. Oops. Switch cameras. God, still here. Okay. Let's transition. And we're up. Cool. Now we put it here. Okay. Hello everyone. Hope you're doing well. Sorry. I'm on board. Just get this up to speed because we're gonna be following Cara, and Cara likes to go fast. Hello, hi. How are you guys doing? Hope you're doing fine. A bit straighter up. There appears to be some sort of problem with my mic. Let's see if this fixes it. A bit, not so much. Okay, where is Cara? Cara's up ahead? Okay. Sorry. I just catch up to her. Yeah, I know. I don't want to be like this. It's supposed to be an endurance ride. Sheesh, yeah. Making me suffer. 8 seconds if you don't. Oh well, she's gone. Yeah, okay. Never mind, I guess. I think I have to get out and get in the back. Just a second. Oh, I'm dead already. That's not safe as well. We can improve this. Yeah, that's the best thing that I can do is this. I'm not really sure why the mic is so bad. Perhaps now it's better. it's still sunny, muffled. Wow. Okay, living and learning, I guess. Still need to learn a lot. Okay. Attempt number 2. This ends. I know. Come on. Keep on top of the gear. Come on. Okay. And this time I can stick with her. Holy moly. Yeah. Cara Cadence in Makuri Islands. It's really tough to keep with her. I wanted to do just a endurance ride today. Recovering from yesterday. And there is still some racing fatigue. I have another race tomorrow, so today is kind of a key point. I was either doing a very tough workout or just doing this endurance. I chose the latter. Oops, sorry, keep going. You do you, Cara. You do you. So I hope you think when you're riding with a pace partner, try to keep at least 20 meters from them ahead. Don't fall back. Don't do what I did on the first try. Yeah, let's get some ride-ons going. Everyone. That's another thing I've noticed actually. So here in Makuri Islands, people give way less ride-ons when compared to the other places. So when if you're in Watopia. Also, I did not check the route. Great. Oh yeah, I'm not following NK2 today. That dude flies. Yeah, no, not happening. If I can stick with Cara for an hour, it would be a miracle, actually. Okay. So, yesterday, race was really tough, really interesting. It was actually here in Makuri. It was the chasing the sun. Yeah, chasing the sun race. We did it with the herd. Oh, as part of the herd, I would say. Not necessarily the herd being the ones responsible for organizing the race itself. But it was a lot of fun. I managed to keep up with the front group up until the temple KOM. If you know Chasing the Sun, there are, I think, 3 sprints. Yeah, 3 sprints before the temple KOM. Then I have the temple KOM, which is on gravel. The only major section on gravel, apart from 2 others that are very short. But the temple KOM is entirely on gravel. And then you have the final part, the final sprint, just before the finish line. Yeah. So I stood with the front group into the temple, so 3 sprints up, and I managed to get a 5th on the 3rd sprint, the countryside sprint. There were 46 riders, so quite a good result for me. I am no sprinter. I found out that I'm actually nothing. I'm no sprinter, I'm no climber, I'm no nothing. I'm very bad at everything. I'm still trying to learn, and I need to develop quite a lot. doesn't matter. That's what we're here for. Getting these races on the bag, getting the experience on the bag. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. Sorry. All in all, good finish. Managed to keep up with the group after the KOM, and we sprinted for the final. I finished 20th. Felt good with myself. Was the first of our herd back, which is kind of bad, given that most of the other guys are actually better than myself, so they should have done better than me yesterday, but they didn't have the... What happened was, at the start, I stayed a little bit back, stayed in the front group, but back, so I didn't have to catch up too much. They didn't follow the same strategy. They went for the front of the pack, and when it came to the first and second sprint, they were too much far ahead. They got dropped really easy. I wasn't going for the first sprints. I knew I wouldn't get anywhere there. So I just tried to hang on for dear life with the front group. By the way, if you want to check the VOD, the video of that race, it is up in YouTube. Check it down in the link descriptions. You'll find my YouTube channel, and over there it's just been uploaded. I've got the pre-race warm-up and the post-race analysis slash warm down, just because, you know, nobody wants to watch these things. I believe if you want to watch next time, I'll keep it up. Not a problem for me. I mean, I'm doing it either way. So, and I've also included some non-copyrighted music, just because it was either that or you'd watch someone talking to a mic for about 30 minutes, then shutting the hell up because we had a Discord channel set up and guys didn't want to get their Discord voices up, and afterwards it'll be again somebody nearly talking to himself on the microphone. I don't think that was much quality, so I chose to go a more entertaining route and include non-copyrighted music. What is pretty fun is there, you can see. So 20th, that's part of the ZWIFT Racing League. ZWIFT Racing League is an event that has seasons. We are currently in season 3. My first season with the ZRL, as it is called. Pretty interesting racing scene. If you want to join, go to WTRL.com, and over there you'll find a sign up for the ZWIFT Racing League, or simply Google ZWIFT Racing League, which is what I did in the first place, and you'll get there all the same. Our team is a Cat B. It's called the Herd of the Mighty Mules. Yeah, we're mules. We're proud of being mules. We don't like much horses. Donkeys are fine. Just joking. I like all animals. And non-animals, I should say. But yeah. Our group is pretty experienced, I would say. I'm the youngest by far. And the rest of the guys are all veterans or Masters C. Masters A. That's age for you. If you don't know the ages of cycling, pretty easy. Until 30, until you reach 30, in the year that you reach 30, you are an elite. Then you become Master A, 31 to 40, Master B, 41 to 50, so on and so forth. We have a couple of Master Bs. Veterans are usually Master Cs or above. We do have some. Oh, Cara, you're falling behind. What's going on? Still got some climbing here to do, girl. Let's go. Let's go. I'll wait for you. No worries. So yeah. We still got some Master C's and Master B's up and up. And the group is pretty good. It's pretty strong for a Cat B. I'm by far the weakest of that particular group. Magically, yesterday appeared to be my day. Of anyone else, I was pretty proud. In any case, moving on from yesterday's ride, we have tomorrow's ride. Different, completely different series. Tomorrow is a team time trial. Happens every Thursday. Anyone can join. It's not required for you to sign up as a team. What you have to do though, it is a team time trial organized by WTRL, same ones that organize the ZWIFT Racing League, and the Herd. So you gotta go to the Herd Racing League Facebook group, if I'm not mistaken. Over there you'll find a doodle where you can input your information for the Thursday's time trial. Usually this information is up until the next Monday. So for tomorrow, unfortunately, registrations are already closed. But for next time, you can join us. If you want to join as a Herd, feel free to join with other bands out there. There are many other bands like the Lions, like the Provisions, like CVCCs, many others. Pros and not pros, amateurs, non-amateurs. I'm an amateur. Actually, I don't know if I can even consider myself an amateur at this point. I think I'm below that. In any case, team time trial. Pretty interesting race. Did my first last week. Went amazing. Again, video on the YouTube. You can go in the below part, check it out if you want. But now, let's continue with us. Later. If you're not doing anything, want to watch something, find it interesting, you can go there and check. Mechanics of a team time trial on ZWIFT are much different than the ones you find on the road. On the road, you're usually looking for a good straight up line. So 5, 6, 7, 8 in the before 2011, 9 riders up the road, each one going behind the other, and those guys would switch at intervals of about 30 to 45 seconds, doing incredible power at the front, but those at the back wouldn't do much. Now, because of ZWIFT drafting mechanics, which are a bit different than the road, what we usually do is somebody pulls, so somebody stays ahead, one of us, when it's their pull. They stay ahead, and the 4 or 5 of us left in the group, we usually do a semicircle that flanks on the edges. And that's so that everyone can actually use the draft as best as possible. It's not a perfect system, by no stretch of imagination, but still, it is a system. I would say that it's quite demanding. You are going to do FTP or above. FTP, for those of you who don't know, is the functional threshold power, aka the power that you can theoretically hold for about an hour at your max, considering both your max heart rate and max power. But that's just theoretically. I, for one, have never managed to hit my FTP in real life or on ZWIFT for the entirety of the hour. That doesn't matter. It is just a way of gauging if you're doing too much effort or too little. You can see the reference or the ratio to the FTP here on the screen right now. If you look at the bottom part of the screen, you're going to notice there are some colors there. The colors represents the zones of training. So when you see gray and the lowest bar, that's zone 0 or zone 1, depending on your in your system. It's the lowest zone, and it's usually the one known as the fat burning zone. It's where you can sustain that power for hours on end. And you even, by my own account, and that's just me, not saying that everyone does like this, but I get bored pretty quickly at that zone. I usually cannot do a workout at that zone for more than 45 minutes. To me, that's hell. That's worse than doing on the upper zones. But then you have the upper zones. Oh my god. Cara caught up to us very quickly. Gotta bump up the speed now. So, talking about upper zones. Yeah, let's increase a little bit here. We have the second zone, zone 2, which is the one we're focusing today. Not very much, I might add, but it's the one we're focusing today. That is the zone known as endurance zone. And theoretically, you can hold that for twice, almost 3 times the amount of your maximum race effort. So, imagine that you've done your longest race on your life, on race conditions. Race, when I say race, please take into account Gran Fondo events are races for this exercise, okay? I know you're not racing, technically speaking, but it still counts as an event. So longest ones, then multiply it by 2 or by 3. And you can theoretically hold that power for that amount of time. I've proven that, at least in my case, that works like a charm. I've proven that when I transitioned from Gran Fondos of about 90 to 120k and the old axes. Some people also know them as randonneurs. I don't know how to pronounce that in English. Randonneur. That's a French. Audax is also a French, but Audax at least you have here at ZWIFT. So these are self-supported races that take at least, in the real world, not ZWIFT, the real world, at least 200 kilometers in distance, usually 300, and you can take anywhere from, let's say, 6.5 hours to complete, up until 12. That's my own experience, and they can go further, longer distance, like 400, 600, and the creme de la creme, or the best one in terms of Audax, where is the Paris-Brest. It's a race in France, 1,200 kilometers. That thing hurts a lot, let me tell you. I think if you guys are subscribed to the GCN channel, Global Cycling Network channel on YouTube, you may find Hank tried to complete not exactly the same route, because I think he did it in England, sorry, and but it's almost the same distance, to 1,200 or 1,300 kilometers, something like that, and he did it in about 60 hours, I think. Don't poke me on that. Even though I watched the damn thing yesterday, I do not remember, honestly. But it took a ludicrous amount of time, which is expected. My experience, he did it quite fast, actually. It is not easy to do that. And it's a homage to his own efforts, the work that he's been doing with Mark Beaumont and with others in order to increase his overall endurance. Just like what a side did. Simon, he also did one of those very recently. Brutal race. Not an easy thing. I was looking to do some of those this year and maybe take you along. Perhaps not in live stream, because you would use too much battery, and you kind of need battery, especially in the nighttime. But certainly through GoPros and whatnot, and perhaps do some live stream events here and there, like for about 10-15 minutes every 100Ks. We'll see. Still in the plans, but for now we're training for the Gran Fondo. It's gonna happen in 2.5 weeks. May the 5th, not the 4th. Unfortunately, Star Wars Go, May the 5th. Interesting. Fondo, this will be in the Douro Valley. You know the region? Come join if you can. Come join. It'll be an amazing ride. Pretty tough, a lot of mountains, but the scenery, man, I'll tell you, the scenery is another thing. I'm not originally from Portugal, so every time I do these kinds of rides, outdoors, Grand Fondos and so on, I find myself more often than not looking into the distance, looking into the scenery, and just admiring the beauty of the country. I did the same with Spain, mind you. When you go across the border on our bikes and see the changes of scenery between Portugal and Spain, especially in the north, those are amazing. You can really see the transition, let's put it like that, between the two countries. It is really amazing. I love it. I honestly love it. Just a quick sip of water. 30 minutes in. Right, so getting back to our topic, after all of this discourse of how it access long distances, zones, getting back to the zones. So, grayish. Grayish is zone 0, zone 1, fat burning zone. Blue, endurance zone. Green, which is the one I'm doing right now, known as tempo zone. It's a zone that you can maintain for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Quite comfortably, actually. Zone 4, which you may see in the graph slightly. If you look especially on the left, almost where my image is, you see a yellow part there. That's the FTP zone, or the theoretical power you would sustain for an hour. Then you have zone 5 and zone 6, which are both red. I'm not gonna demonstrate them now. Sorry. That's not the intent of this workout. But they go above and beyond the FTP, and the idea is to test your muscles. However, I had a race yesterday. I did leg work today at the gym. I am tired as hell, so I cannot sustain a good zone 5, zone 4, and zone 5 and zone 6 now. My apologies. You have to check the VODs and the races for that. Races are almost exclusively zone 4 FTP, zone 5 and zone 6, with recovery at tempo, recovery at zone 3. That's usually how it happens. And this is to mention power. I'm not even gonna try and go into heart rate, because one, it's very subjective. Heart rate is to anyone differently. For instance, I function quite fine as what you're seeing there, 150. I know a lot of people that cannot sustain that, and they think that that's crazy. But on my Everesting, and I did an Everest, an Everest actually, or a V Everesting I should say, I averaged 165 beats per minute. That's through 12 hours and 58 minutes of constant, non-stop riding. That was brutal. that was tough. I don't want to repeat that experience anytime soon. I do, let's say, I do not recommend doing it unless you really want to go for a challenge. It is pretty brutal. And I trained 5 months to try and achieve that. I think I did quite successfully. I was hoping to get a sub 13, and I did. So, objective achieved by 2 minutes. God, that hurt. The last 3 rounds up, those hurt a lot. In any case, what's gonna happen tomorrow? So, keep that trial race with, and I've just known this, the herd of crows are gonna flock away through Tempus Fugit. 2 rounds of Tempus Fugit tomorrow. Be a very fast race. Given that we are doing time trials, but it's on a team effort, we're not gonna use a time trial bike. That would actually deny the effect of draft, so it would be pointless. Otherwise, we would just be doing a individual time trial, not the objective of tomorrow. So we'll probably be racing with Canon Aeroads or something more aero than that, and zip discs or 808s or the Tron bike. It's a very good all-rounder. Gonna be tough. We're talking about what, 35, around 35 Ks. 20 plus 2, yeah, 35 Ks. Of very intense riding. Expect to finish in about 49, 50 minutes, I guess, for my cat. Don't think guys could do much more than that. There are no hills, so that makes the pace more steady. But on the other hand, the effort is constant, no place to actually try and recover. It's gonna be quite tough. Hey, here's the country spring. See there? 7.92? Yeah. Oh, it actually gave me 2nd place here. Wow. Look at that. That's actually impressive. Not gonna lie. Cool. So, I see we had like 5 guys, or 5 people, I should say, sorry, my apologies. 5 people here. Now we have 3. Feel free to write in the chat. I can read your messages and I can answer any questions or comments you might have. So, don't be shy to interact. It's always good to have somebody to talk to when you're in an hour ride doing almost nothing. Let's see. What else can we talk about? So, Paris-Roubaix. Ooh, Paris-Roubaix. That was a cool race, huh? Don't know if you guys watched. I watched all the highlights at the GCN. My god. That was brutal. It was not as brutal as the last year, I think. At least in terms of the weather. It was more settled. But, on the other hand, some very nasty crashes there. I saw the controversial crash with the spectator. I don't remember the cyclist's name. I hope he's okay. I think he was. He got up, understandably dizzy, but otherwise well from that. So I could hope he's okay. But on the other hand, I mean, those incidents are becoming more and more often. There isn't much to do, right? Otherwise, you're just gonna have to make people not be on the streets, and that's not the same as, say, a Formula 1 circuit, or even when you're talking rally, like rally cars, the World Rally Championship. There is that's almost impossible to control, I would say, because to an extent, when you're talking on rally, you have the speed, and the speed basically dictates how dangerous the ride is. But when you're talking bikes, it's so light that spectators don't really feel the danger up until it's right in their nose, and they don't think that differently from a car. When you hit the side mirror of the car, you're gonna lose a limb, but the car is gonna just keep up fine. The bike? No. Bike or biker? We're talking about a 6.8 kilo bike. That thing is gonna flip. That's for sure. So it's a very tricky situation, I guess. How to protect the riders, but still enable spectators to watch and not having to spend enormous amounts of protection equipment on every single ride. Because we watch bike races on the Pro Tour, and the calendar for the Pro Tour is absurd. If you ever had a chance to go into the website of the UCI, you can get a glimpse of the Pro Tour calendar. They have to race a heap amount of races during the year. That's for each team. It'll be a logistical nightmare, and most races occur in Europe, so there will be many big roads in Europe that will be closed for a substantial amount of time during the weekends when people want to travel and do not want to watch bike race. I mean, we like it, but not everybody does. That's the nature of humans, right? Have different entertainment choices. So you can't simply prohibit others of having their entertainment at beaches or going to the countryside, visiting families, doing whatever they want to do every single weekend just because you want to have a bike race. Unless it's a very, very remote location, not used, short circuit, those kinds of deals, I don't really see much of the point. And there's also the problem of expenditure. The cost of doing that is not free, right? You have the policing, and the police department has to have policemen and women going through the crowds and securing the perimeters. Even if you have the barriers, they'll still be there. They'll still be required. So you're allotting a lot of resources for safety. Then you have firemen, you have ambulances, doctors, medics, paramedics, the whole shebang. Not to mention TV crews and all the logistics from the teams. It's quite a nightmare if you stop and think about it. And logistically, a bike race is very difficult to accomplish. And differently from other races, say automotive races, where you're in a circuit and you just need to get to and from, which is difficult, which is very difficult. I'll give up that. Another day I watched the F1 logistics. That thing is insane. Absolutely insane. But in any case, the point here is bike races are not established logistic points. Every year it changes a little bit. They try to make long-term contracts, but not everybody can sustain a long-term contract. So, dropping ride-ons. So, it really is down to teams organizing themselves, getting the logistics done, and getting the hang of it. And back to our point of the danger, that imposes a self-taught danger to the riders. But again, it's difficult to say or to state there was a blame in that accident. I mean, of course, the spectator could have been further behind, while the rider could have not tried to ride so close to the spectators in the first place for the last 5 minutes. But then again, it's a race. You take all the risks, for every single marginal gain, especially on that level. So it's very difficult to assign blame. I don't think there were anyone there to blame, honestly. I could be wrong. Feel free to correct me. I do not own the final judgment, thank God. It would be a nightmare if I did. So yeah, apart from the crushes, the finale was quite good. Was not expecting the Dutch guy from Ines to win. Honestly, I think no one was. But what a spectacle to witness. Really. And first victory for Pinarello and Ines, if I'm not mistaken, on the whole day. Don't think they've ever done it. So kudos to them. Not easy to do. Not easy to do at all. Let's get up a little bit. Let's switch the muscles. Take a minute here, standing. Just, you know, get other groups to work. Yeah. Oh, Coalition. That's another team that was on our race yesterday. Pretty good guys. Those guys know how to ride, let me tell you. So, for tomorrow, since it is a time trial, I am, let's say, I do have the highest FTP when you go for watts per kilo. So, technically speaking, I should be the strongest, but it is a time trial. And in the time trial, what actually counts is how much you do in terms of raw power. And my raw power is one of the lowest. I just have a high FTP because I'm way lighter than the rest of my colleagues. So, I'm not sure how that will play out. We'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna have to do my 300, 250 watt turns and see how those play out. Oh yes. That's good. I mean, it shouldn't help me increase my power, or at least sustain more power for longer. It's already a very good thing to do. Apologize for breathing heavily. Standing up, always an issue for me. So, I hope the music isn't that loud and that my mic is not disturbing you. After this, I'll take a look at what's going on with my audio. I felt like my output is rough. Looks like electrolyzed, kind of dirty. So I have to look into that. I'm using noise suppression because I have double fans here. And if I don't use noise suppression, you guys wouldn't hear anything at all. So it's really not an option not to use. Oh, hey, pointing out one thing you may have noticed. I am not really a fan of the power-ups when they're doing workouts. Just because this is a workout, not a race. So, unless I'm training for the race, doing a workout specifically for a race, I will refrain from using power-ups. Reason being is that these give me a slight advantage that I haven't earned by my own account. So I'm not actually improving. And there are no power-ups in the streets. For instance, right now, I could use the arrow, get myself a slight boost, make the down section easier. That's because Coco likes to sprint a little bit here. She's showing 2.5, but that is not 2.5. Pretty sure that is not a 2.5. But then again, when you're in a race, in IRL, in real life, you won't find any kind of power-ups to help you. So try and stick to a workout without power-ups. The same as in the gym. Half amplitude doesn't constitute many gains. In the end, you're just cheating yourself. Unless, again, you're doing something very specific with an intent and a strategy. So, say, for instance, in the gym is actually a good example. So, say, for example, you're doing leg press, and you've done already the heavy part of the work. So you can push 200 kilos for 3 sets of 12, just what I do. At the end, if you really want to have the muscles completely gone and destroyed, you can do 24 half reps at half the tempo time. So you take twice as long for each half rep without rest pauses, so non-stop. And then you really destroy the muscles. But that's a strategy. And I don't do that every leg workout or every leg press workout. We really focus. Also, I'm not recommending doing that. I'm saying you need a strategy. Whatever you do it with a strategy in mind. Gonna be much more successful. One more thing. So, I get this question at the gym every single day. How come you wake up at 4:30 in the morning, or 4, depending on the day, get on your bike, do a 2-hour ride, about 60 k's, a little bit less than that, 50, 55, come back, do 1.5 hours in the gym, go to work at home or work at your own place, and at the end of the day, you still have energy for a race. Answer is quite simple. Discipline and nutrition and rest. You have to be able to rest. So I am now racing twice a week. So weekends I take off and just do a very light riding. Maybe a lot of hours, but they're always zone 1 and zone 2, so it's kind of what we're doing now. I can sustain this for God knows how many hours. Really. This wouldn't be an issue at all. So do with strategy. And also in the gym, I'm focusing on strength gaining at the moment, but I usually rotate my plans every 3 to 4 months. So I was doing hypertrophy. First I did basic training for 3 months, and that's just established form. Doesn't really matter the weight that you're putting in, it matters the form. Same as cycling. When you start, you don't want to pull a sprint, a 200-watt sprint, because despite you getting perhaps there, you will probably get a 1200-watt sprint if you have it in your legs. You'll get it with such a bad form, and it will take such a long time for you to understand that and address that is not worth it. So start with small efforts. Start with small sprints. Just train your sprint technique. Remember, sprinting indoors and outdoors are two very different disciplines. Actually, riding, indoors and outdoors, are two very different disciplines. Not the same thing. So focus on your form for the beginning part. It's a good strategy. First 3 to 6 months. Then, when your form is good, go for gains. But go for gains intelligently. Don't fall into the famous category of the ego lifters. So, just because you can lift a weight once doesn't mean that that weight is good for you. It doesn't come with a strategy. Like, you're building strength. Okay, so your first two exercises or maybe 3 exercises in the gym are for strength. The rest is just to massacrate the supporting muscles, which you are focusing on that day. That implies 2 sets of strategies. First, you're focusing an area in your body in terms of the workouts that you have selected. And B, within that, you're also focusing what kinds of efforts you're going to do and prioritizing having more energy at the start for the strength part. Having less energy just to further develop the supporting muscles that will allow you to have more strength in the next round. So I know that. But it's kind of a trade-off. Have the same here in cycling, music, languages, teaching and learning in general. Always the same thing. Usually people want to skip the first part, especially the very first part, where you're learning the ropes, learning the basics. I skipped. You can see here on my bio below, I skipped. I am a cyclist for 10 years, and for 7 of those 10 years, I did nearly the exact same amount of effort. Nearly the exact same. Very few exceptions. I only managed to switch to improve in my cycling ability, although not much, but still I improved when I focused on structured training and understanding strategy. So, in a way, I kind of wasted 7 years. Don't do that. It's not worth it. Might be nice, might be something that brings you joy for the first year or so, but afterwards you're gonna pay, and you're gonna pay heavily. One more thing, still on that point. Do not fall into the trap of having to do a workout or an exercise or learning something because you are motivated by it. You are motivated to start. That's 1%. You want to know how everybody got it to the end? Discipline. What's discipline? Again, waking up at 4 a.m., 4:30, hopping out to the bike, going outside, freezing cold, rain, wind, doesn't matter. Getting up outside, riding, 2 hours. Coming back, doing the gym, 1 hour and a half. Being on point on nutrition, being on point on sleep, being on point on hydration. All matter. All add up. All are important, and all are disciplined. Without those, you will not achieve your goals. That's really important to understand. I know this sounds more like a lecture than anything else, but I cannot stress enough how much this advice is important. It took me I want to say almost 20 years to understand it. Ever since I first heard it. I heard it from my grandfather, I heard it from my father. Especially my father. And I didn't abide by it. I thought it was just dad talk, you know? Something that he would make up. Just so I would get up the couch or the chair, off the computer, off the video game. Which, by the way, I still do. I mean, I am playing a video game right now. So I still do that. I still have some endorphins from playing games. And I don't feel any more guilt than anyone else. But now, I try to tie it up, playing games, and getting better. And those are not easy to achieve. Those are not easy to achieve at all. Discipline is not a simple thing to understand and to follow. Cool, so 10 minutes left. We're not gonna extend this much longer. Just to recap, if you were not here at the beginning, you have the VODs from the race yesterday and other races that I've done in the past 2 weeks on my YouTube channel. And check the links here below in the About section to your right. I think it's this. Yeah, exactly. That's way. And you'll find there the oops, my apologies. Microphone is really sorry, I did not see that. Mic was really in my face. Yeah. You see there the VODs and the videos. So feel free to browse. There are playlists for you with the different styles of racing. At Saturdays we also race, only it's a very different style. We're doing a climbers race on Saturdays, so it only accounts for the time of ascension. The rest you can do at whatever pace you want. Last time I was pretty impressed with my own my own performance, which means that this time I'm gonna suck. That's just how it goes. That's the usual. I'm gonna put it a little bit to the side now. Just trying to clean up a little bit. Hope the sound isn't affected too much. Yeah. And tomorrow we're gonna have the team time trial with the herd of crows. Time is 6:40 p.m. That's British Standard Time, Lisbon time, or West European time, whatever you prefer. Also known as CET -1. That's all you need to know. And join up in this exact same link. You'll find us here, suffering with our team in Tempus Fugit, Utopia. That's another world, main world of Zwift, actually. Drop a few more ride-ons to everybody. There you go. So everyone can be happy. Considerably less ride-ons in this pace partner when compared to Utopia's, but that is expected. There are more hills here. People usually don't look at their phones when they're on the hills. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I know today was more of a a conversation than anything else. More of things you might take from my part, explanations on how I do things. Again, the idea with this is to bring to you my experience and help you guys or girls to overcome problems that I faced during my journey and for which I was not prepared, or I did not take many good advice into consideration. So, the same as almost every miscellaneous streamer, I do not pretend to be otherwise. I'm doing this also for my documentation. Just didn't have a way of documenting my own rides, and now I'm doing that. So I hope you enjoyed the stream. Still 5 minutes to go, and again, thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for joining in. This was just an endurance ride with our dear friend Coco, or Cara Cadence, she's also known, here at the streets of Makuri Islands. Pretty beautiful world in my opinion. In my view, the prettiest world, although I do love the Alp and the sections nearby the Alp. There goes Coco. Coco likes to get fast on these sections. Let's see if we can keep it 4 more minutes before we sign off. Cool. So Flatland loop 20 minutes. That's what we've been doing. Quite a good ride. I wouldn't say it's too much flat. That's a good ride. Also, I would like to point out that I'm looking at the left side of the screen, and you can see different comms, KOMs. People here are flying up hills. They are really going. I'm impressed, really. It's amazing. Pretty awesome, actually. Oh, so. Okay, final hill, I think, of this Flatland loop. Or not. I do not know. Only 2.5 minutes to go. I'm not really worried. Quite a bit of climbing for an hour effort, but in a group ride, it goes without too much trouble, I would say. Actually, pretty close to the time I had yesterday during the chasing the sun. It's not a good thing. And yesterday I did way more effort than I'm doing today. That's for sure. Come on, Coco, give me space there, Coco. Thank you. Cool. Okay, so again, just to recapitulate, tomorrow we're having a race, 6:40 p.m. It's British Standard Time. I usually log in about 30 minutes before, just to warm up, get the legs shaking, those kinds of things. And then afterwards we're moving to the race. Should take about 50 minutes. I mean, it's the same distance as now, 2Ks less, and I expect we are doing about the same speed, a little bit more, about 41, 42 Ks an hour for the team time trial. And that's it. Gonna be a very interesting, but a very difficult race, undoubtedly. Not be easy. Okay. Just realized there is a friend with us. Let's see who that is. Oh, Web. Web is here. There you go, Web. Have yourself a ride on, dude. You can see the friend sign on the top right corner, that orange blobbing thing. Curiously, I haven't seen him on the screen yet. Doesn't really matter. Okay, 5 seconds up, and we're off. Just a tad bit. There we go. Now I keep pedaling just through this section. Make sure to correctly adjust my distance, because it takes a while. There's the beginning section, the 5 seconds of the beginning section plus this one. So it takes a little bit to adjust. I think he did. All in all, solid ride. Endurance. Pretty good. And that's it. Okay. Again, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being here with the Cocoa Bunch. Give a last ride-ons. Fly away, guys. That's it. Thanks. Join us tomorrow, 6:40. When I watch the videos from the previous races, check out the links below. Thanks. Goodbye. Take care.